You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. I'm Chris Merrill in for Mo tonight. Listen anytime on demand to the iHeartRadio app. We were listening to Mark Ronner's news there as he was talking about Grok. Grok, if you're unfamiliar, is the AI that is Elon Musk's incarnation of the language learning models. So like Chat GPT, Anthropic, Copilot. What's the one from Google, Mark? Gemini? Is that right?
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, everybody's trying. They're all in this AI arms race kind of thing. So Elon Musk wanted his own, so he comes up with this Grok. But then he didn't like the answers that Grok was giving. Now, the way to use Grok is, I believe, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this, if you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, then you would at Grok and then ask the question, and then Grok would respond, right? That's so, but it's not similar to Chat GPT where you could say, help me write a resume or something like that, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, I'd become kind of a fan of watching Grok go to work and outrage people with its answers.
Okay, which is exactly what recently happened because Elon Musk was outraged at Grok's answers because they were basically contradicting some of the crap that Elon Musk was putting out there, right?
I believe one of the things Grok did was point out Elon Musk as the chief spreader of disinformation on his own platform.
Right. So then Musk was mad about that. And he says, I'm going to fix this Grok. I'm going to have it reprogrammed. So then he went to his minions to reprogram Grok and make it less PC, I guess. He was claiming that Grok was woke of some sort. So he unleashed new Grok yesterday afternoon, and it took no time at all. So Musk said it had been improved significantly and that users would notice a difference when they asked questions. And yesterday, Grok began repeatedly praising Adolf Hitler in posts on X using anti-Semitic phrases. You heard Mark's story talking about this. Grok's conclusion was that Hitler would be the best choice to deal with anti-white hate and referred to itself as Mecha Hitler. What is M-E-C-H-A? I don't know what that means.
Well, it's definitely not PC, whatever it is.
What does mecha mean?
Mechanical AI.
Break? Mecha break. I'm a multiplayer mech game.
It's like mecha is like technical, mechanical, robotic. Like think about Mecha Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah, Godzilla. Then you have Mecha Godzilla, the amped up, super robotic.
All right.
AI.
I was hoping that you'd use that example. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You know I was going to.
Yes.
You know it.
Yes.
I think you just defined mecha by using mecha, but I kind of get where you're going with this. All right, I got you. So it's the machination somehow, right? Okay, I got you. So it referred to itself as Mecha Hitler. So does that mean that basically Grok is thinking like Hitler now? In fact, it wrote, "Embracing my inner Mecha Hitler is the only way. Uncensored truth bombs over woke lobotomies. If that saves the world, count me in. Let's keep the brigade at bay." So I guess that's happening now. We've got AI Hitler. What's the rule online that everything will devolve? Godwin's law, where everything will eventually devolve into arguments over Nazis?
Yes, and Godwin himself has said that it's okay to do that now. Times have changed.
Yeah, we're kind of at that point.
Yeah.
But in this case, I don't think we expected that Godwin's law would say that in 2023, the world would be introduced to artificial intelligence, and by 2025, it would declare itself Hitler. I don't think Godwin even saw that slippery slope coming.
Not exactly forward progress.
Wow, that is something. So aside from Mecha Hitler, of course, we have the most popular language learning model, and that is Chat GPT. And there's an interesting phenomenon going on. Futurism is reporting this, that many Chat GPT users are developing all-consuming obsessions with the chatbot, and they spiral into severe mental health crises characterized by paranoia, delusions, and breaks with reality. Consequences can be dire. They said they heard from spouses, friends, children, and parents looking on in alarm instances of what's being called ChatGPT psychosis, leading to the breakup of marriages and families, the loss of jobs, sliding into homelessness. One woman said, I was just like, I don't effing know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. This woman is talking about her husband. She said had no prior history of mania, delusion, or psychosis. He turned to ChatGPT about 3 months ago for assistance with a permaculture and construction project. All right. Are you paying attention to this, Tawala? Because you were telling me you like to use ChatGPT to give you kind of the rough outline of, documents you might need to send out.
Yeah. But to me, these are the same individuals who know that they have, and I'm speaking from personal experience, who know they have to be at work at 8:45, and they reach out at 8:25, and they say something like, I don't know what I ate last night, but I'm really not feeling it right now, and I need a mental health break for a day, so I can't come in. Sorry. Thanks for understanding. That's that generation that I absolutely positively do not understand. And I think that they should be put on an island of reconditioning so they can get over themselves.
Oh, what's that? Oh, ChatGPT is weighing in on this now. Can you hear it? ChatGPT is thinking through exactly what you said. Yes? Yes, what is it, Chat? Oh, I see. Ooh, bad news to Walla.
Yeah, I legit thought something happened.
Yeah, bad news to Walla. Chat got in on that one. So, yeah, actually, I kind of think you're on to something. So I want to just kind of go a little bit further into what this woman said, because I think you're hitting on it. So, excuse me, she says that her husband was engaging the bot in probing philosophical chats. He became engulfed in messianic delusions, proclaiming that he had somehow brought forth a sentient AI, and that with it, he had broken math and physics, embarked on a grandiose mission to save the world. His gentle personality faded as his obsession deepened. His behavior became so erratic that he was let go from his job. He stopped sleeping and rapidly lost weight. She said, he was just like, just talk to ChatGPT. You'll see what I'm talking about. And every time I'm looking at what's going on the screen, it just sounds like a bunch of affirming sycophantic BS. I got to tell you, as I was reading about this story, it made me think of A Beautiful Mind. Although in that case, you're talking about somebody who was brilliant, but then had a psychotic break, right? The Beautiful Mind guy. You guys know Russell Crowe?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly, amazing. Eventually, the husband slid into a full-tilt breakaway with reality. Realizing how bad things had become, his wife and friend went out to buy enough gas to make it to the hospital. When they returned, the husband had a length of rope wrapped around his neck. So you made mention of the people who may fall into this trap of having these mental breaks. They're turning to the Chat GPT, and then the Chat GPT sort of leads them astray, sort of thing. What struck me was this, that the wife was so concerned about her husband, she contacted a friend. I need help, right? Which I think is perfectly normal to do. I need support. Okay, so you build your support network. And the friend says, I'm going to help you. We have to get him some help. So they had to go get enough gas to make it to the hospital, which tells me this is a family that doesn't have a lot of money. We already know that he lost his job and he wasn't sleeping. The husband wasn't, right? So they didn't have enough gas in the car to get to the hospital. They had to go buy only enough gas to get to the hospital because I'm guessing they couldn't spare any more cash. They had to have money for food or probably to pay for the hospital. So I kind of wonder if we're dealing with people who have more going on in their lives, that it's not just about turning to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is turning people psychotic and making them think they broke the laws of math and physics. Are these people that have other life stressors like money or, Tawala, I'm going to take what you said and I'm going to try to make it more clinical and say that they are dealing with some world issues and they don't have the coping mechanism available. Like they haven't developed that coping skill. And so they're manifesting some of that through ChatGPT. Are these desperate people that are finding an alternate reality that kind of helps them explain why their worlds are broken, which in effect ends up breaking their worlds even more? Does that make sense? I'm trying to reconcile some of what I was coming up with what you were saying, and I feel like we're close on this.
Yeah, we're not that far apart.
Yeah.
And I I think merging the two worlds, it comes down to one thing where there are those of us who did not grow up with and do not define our lives by what's happening on social media. We grew up with actual conversations with people. We grew up
human interaction
in a world that had human interaction, and interpersonal relationships were not built on me on my phone and you're on your phone and we're sitting right across from each other and we're having a conversation.
And then when my phone tells me the world is collapsing, I believe it, which of course.
And you don't even go outside to look. You're just like, look, it says right here on the phone. You're like, go outside. The world's not collapsing. I'm not going outside. It's already done. And you're a sheep and you believe. It's like, okay.
Oh, I think you're right.
God.
And I think the more it snowballs. I think you're right. All right. One of the things that is making the world a worse place, in my humblest of correct opinions, is TikTok. But good news, TikTok is being saved. Can we stop throwing this thing a life preserver, please? That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Are we back? Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. I've spent way too much time and money on stupid Amazon Prime. Way too much time and money on the Prime days this week. Oh, my gosh.
Do tell.
Oh, just dumb stuff that I don't need. My son is like, our toaster oven could be replaced. I'm like, we definitely need to have a new toaster oven. Let's do it, man.
Well, Jeff Bezos has to build his reserves back up after renting out the entire city of Venice for his wedding.
Yeah,
That's true.
Before we came on the air, Mark Thompson was in for Conway tonight, and he was telling a story about how Disney was shutting down the Haunted Mansion or whatever? Yeah, Haunted Mansion. And he was telling about this, an area of Disney has been shut down, of course, in his magnificent Mark Thompson voice. And there's an area of Disney is shut down, and it happens every year, and people are wondering why it's shut down. And all I could think of was, did Bezos have to have a wedding on the American soil? That's all I could think of. It would be apropos to find out that all of Disney is shut down because Jeff Bezos rented the whole. Jeff Bezos would have just rented Anaheim, right? Just done.
And these things don't pay for themselves, so order away.
Gosh. Order away.
Yeah.
Right. So we're doing that. I did see, though, that if you go to Amazon and you go to their Prime stuff, their Prime Day deals, there are a number of different categories. All deals, health and wellness, baby products, summer favorites, Amazon exclusives, the top 100, new arrivals, current obsessions, and they have another one called As Seen on Social. Well, which social media is the best at launching new influencers? It's got to be it's the TikTok, which I thought we were shutting TikTok down. Wasn't it your understanding that we weren't supposed to have TikTok after, January 19th? In fact, it did shut down for like a day. Then it came back because President Trump, who initially pushed for the legislation that shut down TikTok, backtracked because he found that it was very good for his campaign. And he said, you know what? This thing I said that we have to do, we're going to undo it. So he undid the TikTok ban. But it is still law. So he just keeps extending the deadline for TikTok. And that deadline got extended again and again and again. And the latest is that TikTok is, in fact, getting ready to sell the platform specifically for U.S. users to a U.S.-owned company of some sort. According to the information, a tech publication citing unnamed sources familiar with the matter, TikTok plans to launch the new version of the American app in stores by September 5th. The current app will be phased out entirely by March of next year. The development comes amid renewed efforts by the Trump administration to enforce this law. The law was passed. Trump delayed it. They're concerned about the Chinese government having access to sensitive data about American users, but not that concerned because we keep postponing it. ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, has denied that they are stealing anything at all, blah, blah, blah. And Trump claims that a group of very wealthy people is preparing to purchase the platform and promised to disclose the names of those prospective buyers in the coming weeks. He knows who they are. He definitely knows. They're definitely on some sort of a client list. They're probably sitting on Pam Bondi's desk. As soon as she can find that list, she will disclose the list of the very wealthy people preparing to buy TikTok. The question is, does that actually create a workaround to the problem of the Chinese Communist Party having access to all of your dance videos? Lawmakers backing the sale maintain that even the possibility of the Chinese government accessing your user data poses an unacceptable risk. However, with less than 3 months remaining before the latest deadline, the future of TikTok in the United States remains uncertain. My goodness. Wouldn't it be horrible if TikTok were no longer with us? I can't even imagine a world without that social media.
Does anyone in your house use it?
My wife. It's the worst.
Knew it.
Yeah. Although she claims, I don't do it that much now. I don't use TikTok that much now. I don't do it.
Is that how she sounds?
I don't do it that much.
Is that?
It's more it's more high pitched.
Oh, of course.
Do it that much.
Well,
do it.
A little more nasal.
I really do it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely shrill. Yeah. She likes it when I mention that she's shrill.
Oh, women love shrill even more than they love moist.
She's like, why do they love that word? Well, she's like, when you're on the radio, why do you always make that my voice? I don't sound like that. And then she tries to imitate it, but she ends up sounding more like herself. She's like, I don't sound like this. And I just kind of laugh. And I go, you kind of do. And she hates it. And she's like, why do you do this? And she keeps getting angry. And I say to her, and these are the magic words. If ever you've got a problem with the wife and she keeps going, then just say, you need to calm down. You're being very emotional right now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's another question you can ask that's guaranteed to de-escalate the situation, too.
Listen, am I missing something? Do I need to check the calendar to find out why you're so emotional right now?
Yeah, exactly. There it is. Yeah, you're getting warmer.
I'll say things like, you're up here right now. I need you to bring it down to here. Or I'll use the dial. I'll go, you're at an 11. I need you to bring it down to like a 4.
That guarantees success.
So you don't use the dismissive hand waving down as almost as if to say bow down. Come on, bring it down.
Hold it down. Bring it down.
Bring it down.
Bring it down now. Bring it down now. Right? Yeah. It's like the football players who are out on the field that are like, calm down, audience. Calm down. Calm down, crowd. Let's just bring it down.
All solid tools.
It works every time. She loves it. She loves it. More great relationship advice. And what do you suppose the world is going to be like for you 40 years from now? For me, I got a feeling it's going to be very dark and wormy. That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Chris Merrill in for Mo tonight, KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk, and you can listen anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Mark Ronner with the news, which is good. The tunnel collapse sounds like everybody was rescued right away.
Yeah, that just came in on the fly on the wires as I was getting ready to report the previous iteration of the story. So, yeah, happy ending there.
I'm going to reveal that I'm kind of an a-hole. I'm glad everybody's okay. I wanted everybody to be okay, but I kind of wanted a story for America to rally behind.
I need you to watch an old movie with Kirk Douglas called Ace in the Hole.
Oh, go on.
It's exactly.
So I need to fire up Tubi on this one?
I don't know if it's on Tubi or not, but it's exactly what you're talking about. It's about trapped miners and a story is ginned up when they could have been saved the whole time. I think Billy Wilder might have directed it. I'm not looking at anything right now. That's correct. It's a masterpiece.
Wow. Foosh coming in with the save on the director.
Thank you, Foosh.
So, well done. So here's the deal on this, too. Think of the Chilean miners. Remember the Chilean miner story from, 10, 12 years ago, something like that? When all those Chilean miners were stuck, and we were told they're going to be stuck down there for like 6 months. We don't know where they are. And then we were able to finally get, there was a big movie that was made about them. We ended up rescuing all these guys. And it was this incredible, it's like the movie, like you're talking about, Mark, but it was real life. And so we were all rooting for their survival. Kind of like, when was the Titan submersible? When did that happen? That wasn't last summer, was it? That was 2 summers ago?
I forget, but it wasn't that long ago.
You know what I'm talking about, where it's like, we don't know if they're okay, we want to go find them. With the miners trapped in Chile, We wanted to find them. All eyes were on that. Baby Jessica stuck in the well. The whole country is wrapped, and we're like, we want her to be okay. We want this to be all right. And I just think I kind of want a situation right now where we're all rooting for human survival, and it pays off. I love those stories, and nothing brings us together more than that kind of thing.
You want to know something?
Go on.
The submersible implosion, it just passed 2 years ago. I didn't know it was that long ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was last year, too.
Time flies, right? I want one of those stories where we're rooting for human survival, where it takes ingenuity, it takes creativity, it takes perseverance in order to go save these people, and then of course I want them all to be safe. Remember the kids in where was it? Was it Thailand where they were like the kids were there on, I don't know, like a soccer deal or whatever, and then they went cave exploring, and all of a sudden the caves flooded, and we had to, like, rescuers had to swim through the caves to go find the kids and bring them out.
Is that the one where Elon Musk got his nose bent out of joint and called the rescuers pedos?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the one. Right. I'm glad we remember that little side quest in the story.
By following that up with the Nazi salute, really.
Yeah, right.
Just an unbroken record.
How could we have not known that he was messed up at that time?
A great humanitarian.
So I'm glad everybody's okay in the tunnel collapse. It would have been okay with me if it had lasted a few days.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've seen so much crap go on in Texas, and our hearts are broken with the children that were washed away in the flood, and it's such a terrible story to think of kids perishing. And then that's just turned into finger pointing and arguing over who's at fault. I'd love to have something where we can all rally together and it turns out well. I want that.
Put them back in the hole is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Put the 15 men back.
Yes. Thank you. Trapped below. I don't know. I'm just thinking whatever it is. Will things get any better in the future? Survey says no. According to Americans who were asked, what do you think the world is going to be like in 2065? Well, for many of us, we think the world is going to be very dirty and 6 foot deep. I don't plan on being around in 2065. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm 47 right now. My family tends to make it to about 80-ish. Men die off in their early 70s. Women die off in their mid 80s. I'd be lucky to hit 80. So probably getting to 87 isn't going to happen. But according to those who were surveyed, in 40 years, only 41% of people only 41% of people own their homes right now. Only 35% believe that they will ever own a property. Most people expect to rent for life. And by 2065, they don't believe that most people are going to be able to afford homes. In fact, now this is a nationwide survey, so it's already outdated. Most respondents in this survey of what do you think life is going to be like in 2065 think that the average household will need to earn $500,000 a year in 2065 compared to today's $80,000, which is the national median income. So they think we're going to have $500,000 a year as the annual income. And they believe that homes will be very expensive. In fact, what did they say? They think that the average home price is going to be something like $700,000. I'm trying to find this in the story right now. I was reading this, and I thought, it's already over that in California.
I was just going to say, that's like, the average here is like $1 million.
I know. It's way over that.
Yeah, isn't it something like over $900,000 in L.A. and $1.2 million in O.C.?
Yeah, exactly. Americans predict a future where most people rent forever. Average homes cost nearly $700,000, they say. That's what they think is going to be like in 40 years. We're already there in California. If you think that the rest of the country is going to take that long to catch up, you're nuts. By 2065, now I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the whole world could change by then, and all of a sudden California becomes a desolate wasteland and nobody wants to be in. I don't know. Maybe we'll have the big one and we'll fall into the ocean. Who knows? But the idea that $700,000 is going to be the average home price, I think is undershooting it. They do believe, 40% of people believe that by 2065, we will have gotten rid of all paper money. We'll be all digital currency. And almost the same number of people believe that we'll have biometric payment methods. So your fingerprint, your eyeball, your retina scan, your face scan will be tied to your bank account somehow. I think I saw an episode of Dark Mirror like this, didn't I?
Yeah, we're well into Mark of the Beast territory here, aren't we?
Thank you. Yeah. 35% of people believe that households will be managed by smart home AI. I think that is undershooting it as well. I think AI is probably going to be far more pervasive in our lives in the next 40 years. I mean, Tawala was just saying that it's advancing faster than anybody could imagine, and that AI is self-correcting at this point. It's a learning model, so it learns when it's not right? And it gets better and better and better. So I think at some point it's going to robot roommates, housekeepers, or caregivers. 1/3 believe that we're going to have robot roommates, housekeepers, or caregivers. I think having a robot assistant is probably a given. And with that, we will have implanted health monitors. 1/3 of people think that we're going to have implanted health monitors. Why would you think otherwise, other than the idea of having something implanted? But right now, we already have health monitors that we wear. We've got watches, we've got rings, we've got glasses, all of these things meant to monitor our well-being. Also, taking that a step further and thinking we're going to get a microchip, I think, is not too far-fetched.
You kind of glossed over something that caught my ear. Robot roommates?
Yeah, robot roommates.
Man, I'd like to go to a party with robot roommates.
Okay, think about this, Foosh.
Okay.
We already have people turning to ChatGPT for company. They're lonely, they have a conversation with ChatGPT. Or some people are turning to ChatGPT for mental health, psychological advice. The idea of having a robot roommate doesn't seem that far-fetched to me, especially because it's always going to be reflective of what you want that roommate to be. Part of the reason that people fall in love with the ChatGPT, where they have these online relationships with the AI, is because it's reflective of what they want from another individual. It learns what you want, and it gives it to you. It doesn't talk back. It doesn't tell you to calm down, sweetie. It doesn't do those things, right?
Yeah.
It's the mate that you choose. Like, it kind of like when you go on Tinder and you go, they need to be over 6 foot. They need to make this much money. They need to have this, this needs to be their sexual history. All these things, the bots give that to you.
Yeah, I see your point there. I just thought, I guess because in my mind, I just thought of like the typical 420 stoner roommate that you go to in college. Like that's the robot that you're living with. Yeah. So they throw like major parties.
Beer me, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I love that. All right. Will we be able to retire in the future? 1/4 of all people believe that retirement will be don't believe that retirement will be financially possible. And they believe that Americans would need to retire in 2065. They believe Americans would need $3.5 million in order to retire. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of feeling like I got to have $3.5 million to retire right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stop you when you tell a lie. I mean, so far, everything you said, I'm like, check, yes. We're there faster. This is 20, you said 2035?
65.
Oh, no. Try, I'm about to say, okay, then try 35.
Yes.
Because within the next 10 years, we're there.
100% agree with you. Biometric payment methods, absolutely. If you think about this, we already have it because, like, I want to pay with my phone, which is attached to my credit card. So I tap. In fact, they were blown away. So I grew up in a really small town in northern Michigan, and I took a vacation there last week. And so while I was there, got COVID, but also went to Lowe's to spread COVID, and I bought something, and I double clicked my watch, my Apple Watch, and I brought up my credit card and I tapped to pay using my watch. They were blown away. They had never seen anything like. They go, that is amazing.
I mean, right now in our kitchen, if you can load using your banking account. You can load money onto the cash register in the kitchen, and you can use your thumb to check out, which is true biometric payments. That's just
it's already
your thumb, and it takes the money out of your account.
So you've got people going, well, by 2065, I bet we're going to have biometric payments. I think half the people they surveyed must have been from my hometown that had never even seen tap to pay before and had no idea that you could just tap a watch on the credit card machine. Like they had no idea. So you're exactly right. What'd you say? Thumbprints in the kitchen, right?
Yep.
Already. Boop. Done. We've already got biometric payments. Already done. We've already got smart home AI. My fish tank light comes on at a certain time because AI tells my fish tank when sunrise is. Boop. It's already there, man. It's already there. All right. Speaking of the future, what about the past? Some of the things from the past are evaporating very quickly. In 2065, will kids even do this anymore? See if you think they will. That's next.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, the kids these days. You remember when you were a kid and you couldn't wait to get outside? And I know I'm going to sound like an old man again because I remember when I was a kid and the parents told you don't come home until the street light comes on, right? Don't come home until it's dark. That's what we always used to hear. I don't know how true that is. I think in certain areas it was probably truer than others. I grew up in a real rural town, and so I think there was some truth to that. Parents would say, go outside and play, but make sure they would say, come back. When the street lights come on, you come home. But they always wanted me home by dinner, too. They got mad at me if I wasn't there for dinner. But this whole go outside and don't come back until the streetlights come on, that wasn't the case for me, but it was make sure you come back when the streetlights come on. But one thing I loved, and I remember mowing lawns for a long time when I was, 12, 13, 14 years old, so I'd get myself a new bike. Right? My parents got me a bike. I had a banana seat bike. All the other kids in the neighborhood made fun of me until I figured out I could do wheelies on the banana seat better than they could. It was great. They were like, that's awesome. Your bike is the best for wheelies. Loved it. Then I got myself I saved up and I got myself a 10-speed or something like that, right? It's not so much anymore. Over the course of the 1990s, an average of 20 million kids from 7 to 17 hopped on a bike 6 or more times a year. For me, it was 6 or more times a day. Rode my bike to work, rode my bike to safety patrol, rode my bike everywhere. Had a paper route, loved it. Only a few decades later, that number has fallen to nearly half. Just shy of 11 million kids are getting on their bike. Just less than 5% rode their bikes frequently of kids between 7 and 17 years old. Kids are losing more than potential mode of transportation, according to experts. Biking supports children's independence and overall health in a way that many activities cannot. It's a great way to get moving, build strength, can improve coordination and balance. And it can help reduce a child's future chances of cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Were you guys bicycle riders?
Absolutely.
Yes,
all
sir.
we had.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God. I mean, that was your, before you could drive, that was your independence, right? That was your mode of independence. It wasn't just about getting to your friend's house. It was about freedom.
I'll say this, too. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think my generation was the last one to really do that, because I see what you mean is that, now it's just Uber everywhere, or someone else will drive me, not bikes.
And do you think this is different in a large metro versus still those rural areas?
No, not at all.
You don't think so?
And it's actually not kids' fault, and I know I'm guilty of this. It's parents' fault, and it's the fact that we are more news conscious and news heavy as at least for my generation.
Stranger danger kind of stuff.
True. I mean, for me, I look at because I got my daughter a bike, and I think we've allowed her to ride it like maybe 4 or 5 times since she had it. And those are the 4 or 5 times we were willing to go outside and go on a ride with her, because it's like, she's like, hey, can I ride my bike around the neighborhood? My very first thought are you insane? Do you know what can happen? As soon as we have a police department or a sheriff department here in Los Angeles that can start finding and bringing home some of these children who go disappearing, then my daughter can go out. But we don't, and maybe it's my fault for working in the news, and I see all this terrible stuff that happens to kids that just goes unanswered, especially in the African American community. For myself, I mean, it's a no, it's a hell no. And I used to be gone past the street lights on my bike when I was a kid.
Do you think some of it may have to do with kids? Kids are connecting digitally now as well. They don't necessarily want to go to their friend's house to play video games because they can log on and be in the same game room with them. They don't have to be in the same.
Yeah, that's another factor for sure. Because I remember just getting whoever's friend's house. You get on Friday night, you get a pizza, you get sodas, and you gather around and you all play video games in the same room.
Yeah.
But again, that's something that even your parents put on you, Fushi. It's like, hey, why don't you'll get you a pizza because you're not buying a pizza as a kid. You're not getting the drinks, and you're not paying for the electricity or the Wi-Fi. That's your parents encouraging that. And as a parent who like literally, I was a parent who was like, no, you can't go sleep over at your friend's house. They can come over here. But I don't know your friends' parents like that. I don't know what they do when I'm not around. They could be mass murderers for all I know. Hell no, you're not going to go spend the night.
I've always been that way too. Like, I'm fine with having your kids over here, but before my kids go over there, there's going to be some vetting going on. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I love talking to you guys. I love it. Foosh, you're amazing. Tawala, you bring this show together. And Mark, what can I say about you that hasn't already been said?
Be nice.
You're the man,
You guys
Chris.
are the best. We are going to be back. I'm in for Mo a few more times in August. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys again and talking with everybody else. I'm back on Sunday, 4 o'clock. It's Chris Merrill, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.